Today we have Matt Sixberry's Viper. It was the Viper swapped 350. That was the big thing you were known for.
Viper swap 370. Yep.
Viper
that
swap.
one.
Okay, I'm sorry. Excuse me for not getting my
I'm
fucking
not
VQs
poor, okay. Yeah, no, I hear Viper swap 350 all the time, but I get it.
Yeah, no. But no, man, you have I became aware of you through like a combination of Jordan, right? Shipbox Garage for people that don't know. And like, I remember the first time that like you and I kind of connected at all was because I was editing that SEMA video for Jordan, and I fucking posted that picture on Twitter, and it was like SEMA 2024 looking like a Vans Warped Tour concert. And it was like you and Grant and a bunch of other, and Bailey and a bunch of other guys, and everybody kind of jumped in. And then I remember like kind of checking out everybody's profile and seeing you, and then seeing the 370 and being like, okay, no, fuck, I know who that dude is.
Oh, hell yeah.
And that kind of set me down the rabbit hole. And I'll be honest, man, even after knowing you this long, right? Like we saw each other at SEMA, we've talked, I still don't actually know what the fuck you do.
That's valid. I don't even know what I do.
So like, obviously building cool cars.
Yeah.
Right. You're working on the Porsche project.
Yeah.
Do you want to get into that a little bit?
Yeah. So this is a LS swapped Porsche Cayman. I'm building it as a drift car. Kind of got the inspiration when Chelsea started drifting his Cayman. But I've been doing this LS swap for like 4 years now is when I started it a long time ago, and then just kind of had other projects, and it went to the back burner because like I didn't know what I was going to do with the car. So I was like, okay, I don't really care to finish it because like, what am I? It's just an LS swap Porsche, whatever, no big deal.
Yeah.
But like now that I'm drifting it, I'm just kind of finishing it up right now. Waiting on just a few parts.
I feel like that's sort of what if I had to like describe your social media presence, like that's kind of what you're known for, is making crazy swap cars.
Yeah.
Fuck it, I'm going to throw this engine in whatever.
Yeah. I mean, that's the biggest thing, is just doing like crazy swaps. And then like, I was doing like a little bit of everything, but like more recently I've just dialed it into like just drift cars. So like everything is just a crazy swap drift car, or just a weird drift car or whatever,
Yeah, it's funny. I got into the space through Jordan, more or less. And then somehow it's like every other person I've actually connected with has been a drifter.
Yeah.
Like, and that's where the presence I really see is. What got you into drifting?
So I got into drifting like 2012-ish.
Okay.
My buddy Sebastian had a Volkswagen GTI Mark III. And then he traded that for an S13 convertible. And this was when we were living in Florida. So if you've ever heard of the compound in Palm Bay, like where,
I think so, yeah,
where like everybody, it's like kind of street drifting, but like kind of legal or turned away from the cops. Like,
okay.
So we lived like 30 minutes from there. So he just was like, "You heard of drifting?" And I was like, "Nope." And then we went out there, and we used to ride dirt bikes out there. So we were super familiar with the place, and then kind of just started drifting. And then my buddy Zach bought a Z31, and then I bought an S13 coupe, which turned into the S13 cart behind me.
I was going to ask if that was the same car.
Yeah, that's the same car. That's what I learned to drift in, was that car before it was a cart.
Yeah, and you had that cart at SEMA. Obviously, pretty cool runs for anybody who hasn't checked it out. The videos are pretty cool, but did unfortunately suffer a little bit.
Yeah,
trying to take him sideways off a jump.
Yeah, I hit the jump and I shouldn't have, but it was definitely worth it. So
yeah. So what broke on that? I don't remember.
So it has an oil filter relocation, like in front of the front tire. It like kind of sits like, up above the front tire. And it had plenty of clearance at like normal suspension travel. But when I slammed off the
Yeah.
jump. The tire hit the oil filter and like ripped the oil filter like adapter off the housing.
Okay.
And then that's what sprayed all the oil. And then I think I also cracked my oil pan just a little bit, but
Just a little bit.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I have a new dry sump engine for that
Okay.
car, so it'll be better anyways.
And is that the motor out of the 370 or is that a separate motor?
No, so that's the Ferrari motor in the cart, and then
Okay.
the 370 has
The
the Viper
says
motor, and
Viper.
then
Okay.
the FRS that we built. This is the same kind of motor, but it's a different motor.
Okay.
Yeah,
And then so you were like, I'm gonna run a Viper motor, I'm gonna run a Ferrari motor, another Ferrari motor, and then finally you're like, obviously, I'm sick and tired of dealing with these motors. I'm gonna go with an LS.
yeah. Well, like the LS. Actually, I think I started the LS before I even started the Viper swap.
Okay.
Um, and like LS is just the smartest option. It's just not the coolest option. But
Yeah,
then I'm
basically.
drifting a Porsche, so like I feel like I can like, you know,
Kind of evens out.
yeah, it kind of evens out. It's still weird and cool, you know.
Yeah. How's the packaging between the LS and the original Porsche? Like, how much room did you need to make, or is it about right?
It's pretty similar. You have like a ton of room on like the outsides of the motor, obviously.
Hmm.
Um, height wise, you need to make a little bit of room, and then I pushed the engine like as far forward as I could. So I had to like do a little cutting for that and run
Hmm.
a LS4 crank pulley and stuff,
I
which
saw
is
that video.
front wheel drive LS. Um, I probably could have gotten away with like less cutting and stuff, but I just really wanted to help the weight distribution as much as possible.
Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah.
And then your plans for that is dedicated drift car. I think primarily you're doing PPIR,
Yeah.
right? Events.
Yeah.
So
PBIR events. And then I want to do Drift Colorado competition events this
okay.
year as well.
So is the goal to get more national, or are you just like do exhibition local? Like, what are your aspirations with this?
Yeah. Yeah. I really want to get to like more grid life events and more
Okay.
of the LS Fest events and stuff. I'm trying to make LS Fest West later this month. Uh, we'll see how that goes. Still waiting on parts. So
Yeah.
as long as those get here anytime soon.
Okay. Right. So that's I think probably a good segue. That's a lot of cool shit to do, but there's got to be a way to fund it.
Yeah.
Um, so I mean, I assume, right? You're talking about parts that we talked a little bit. You've got some level of sponsorship. You actually, I mean, you have a fairly large following
Yeah.
on Instagram. Is that matched on TikTok or is it
Yeah.
mostly
Yeah. I
Instagram?
have even more on TikTok, like
Okay.
280 something on TikTok.
Damn, I didn't realize that. I'm never on TikTok. I don't. My stuff doesn't perform on TikTok at all. I think I figured out why.
TikTok is
Inst-
something different, but
it's different. Also, I don't think TikTok has the global audience as much.
oh, okay.
So, like, because I get on Instagram, I get people from like Poland and Austria and India and Australia. And like, I get like a lot of motorsports people from like East Europe and Southeast Asia that reach out. And
Oh,
I think,
that's
I don't
cool.
know, maybe I just don't think TikTok's quite as popular in those regions. And so, like, maybe
Well,
that's why,
it's really popular in those regions, but maybe they just don't connect like the apps or the
maybe,
videos or whatever.
maybe, I don't know. That was my theory because I was just like, I post the same stuff, right? My Instagram is like grown, and I think my TikTok's still sub 1K.
Wow. Yeah, that's
So
crazy. Yeah, I mean, your Instagram's been picking up, like getting pretty popular lately. So yeah,
yeah, I think I'm about to cross 8,500, which isn't bad for hyper niche mathematics about vehicles.
yeah, like super nerdy stuff. Like not general public doesn't want to see that, but like
No,
the cool people want to see it. So
yeah.
that's
So
sort of
I
what.
never expected huge growth, but also I've only been doing these videos for like 6 months now.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And the
it's
first
not bad.
3 months was like 1 to 2 videos a week. So I only went up to 3 in the last couple. So like, yeah, it was, I digressing, we'll get back to the business, but I gotta say, it was one of those moments where Jordan was just like, you just gotta post more. And I'm like, I fucking know that, man. But like, then I started doing it and it really picked it up. And I was like, I knew you were right, but it still pisses me off how right you were.
Yeah, shut up about it. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, he tells everybody to post more. I mean, I think he even tells me to post more, but
Yeah.
I try.
But yeah, so like, I want to talk about how for you, the process of sponsorships has kind of worked because you have a very unique style. Same situation as our other buddy Luke, right?
Yeah.
Sort of a not mainstream like look, right? And not mainstream kind of feel to everything.
Yeah.
Which I think can fit in the car scene, but I'm curious how that works with sort of like for you with the aftermarket companies, right? Do you run into issues with like, am I sellable, and how does that kind of end up working for you?
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I have dialed myself down in recent years where like I used to be a lot more, cussing a lot more on video and,
Hmm.
just doing whatever I wanted and like, trying to be a little bit more sellable now, but like I'm
Hmm.
also like,
You're still you.
scruffy looking and, you know, not just the normal not just the normal inside the box thing that everybody's looking for, but like
Hmm.
if I'm not what you're looking for, I don't really care. Like live your life, I'll live mine.
Right.
Um, but most companies nowadays, I feel like they don't really care about that quite as much as unless they're just super corporate or whatever. But like
Right.
I think social media has gotten to a point where like as long as you have like a following and a reach, then they don't really care like who you are and whatever else. Like they're just like they'll reach a different audience through me than they will you know through somebody like you or
Yeah.
Jordan. Like
Right.
and I mean Jordan gets crazy. Like
Yeah. Yeah.
Jordan's got the Jordan's got the
I know.
dildos.
I was thinking
Or
about
like
that.
yeah, and he does crazy deals with you know Toyota and stuff. Like anything's
Yeah.
possible nowadays.
Yeah, when he texted me, he was on like a Slate event. I'm like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah,
And then he's that Capcom thing, and I'm like, "Bro."
yeah. He's just like, oh yeah, I'm going here to do this, and I'm like, how? Like, what do you mean?
Right.
And yeah, so like yeah, you know, do what you want. It's the internet.
Yeah,
There's worse things.
that's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it works out pretty well. I guess I would ask, so like, are you, let's say proportion, right? How often are you pitching to companies versus how often are you getting contacts, like cold contacts from them?
So usually, besides weird mid-year stuff, you know, whatever. Like if I'm fixing or changing something in the middle of the year, sometimes I'll reach out to companies. But
Hmm.
usually I try to do that around like end of year, beginning of year when they're dealing with all their financials and stuff.
Hmm.
Um, but I think my success rate is it's I don't know how everybody else's is, but mine's
Yeah.
probably at like 10% of like who I reach out to versus who I work with. But like,
Hmm.
you know, I I don't always like to work with companies that have bad customer service.
Yeah.
And there was a certain coilover company that I was talking to for 5 months that was like super interested in working with me, and they had some knowledge about uh, drift Porsches, um, and like I kept replying. Like I think it started in September and went until February until I was like, dude, what? But they were like, yeah, we really want to work with you. I'm just trying to like figure this and this and that out. And got to
Yeah.
talk to people. And I'm like, okay, dude, like it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need to work together. It's whatever. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, you could have just told me no, but instead I waited 5 months to hear anything back.
Right. Yeah. No, I feel a little bad.
No, no, you're. I
Um,
mean,
no,
I
I
mean,
I know, I know. I was just I get it.
yeah, yeah.
but the
And there was the other company that I sent you the screenshots of that wanted 52 posts, 12 reels, 52 story posts for $800
anytime.
worth of product. And I was like,
Yeah.
are you serious?
That's not
That's a salary. Like,
uh,
that's a
yeah.
salary position. And I'm
Yeah,
going
I
to lose a
mean,
lot of followers over that because they're going to be like, dude, shut up.
yeah. No, that's actually a good point to make. When I hadn't quite thought of that, but like getting into, the deals that are kind of having to be made, what have you kind of found as the tolerance for followers with, um, let's say the kind of posts you have to make and the frequency of things you might have to make for specific companies? Like how often can you kind of push those before they start to, just like you said, be like, dude, shut up?
I mean, it depends on the company and the product and stuff like that. Like Send Cut Send, I work with them a lot, and like
Hmm.
I could push their product on every single post without getting annoying because what they offer is so unique and it helps with every other aspect of what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Um, so just like I don't know, can you see my radium catch can right about there?
uh sort
No.
of.
Okay. Well, just to plug both of them. Actually, I'm wearing both of their merch, anyways. But
Yeah.
installing the radium expansion tank, the coolant
Hmm.
expansion tank, using a bracket that I made through Send Cut Send is a double plug right there. And then
Yeah.
also I'm working on my cooling system and getting that dialed and whatever else. So it's like I could do that video and then I could do another video where I'm installing, you know, more radium products in my frunk with Send
Hmm.
Cut Send brackets. And like, as long as I'm not just like, keep telling you about my coolant expansion tank that's right here that I installed with Send Cut Send and look at it, look at it, look at it,
Right.
I'm not going to mention it again. It's just like, we installed it, we're done, we'll move on. Um, so like, I
Yeah.
think as long as I do that, it's not annoying. But if I'm given $800 worth of products to last a whole year, it'll
Yeah.
get pretty annoying. You're like,
Yeah. Especially in a drift environment where like $800 worth of products could run pretty quick.
yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so
exactly. Yeah,
you
like
might get one post out of that.
literally, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Mhm.
Um, Plus, like you said, send cut send, because you can, every time you have to solve a problem, you can kind of go through them.
Yeah,
Um,
exactly. They're just there, and I've made videos like that where it's just installing a product using a thing I made, and then sometimes I make like funny things with through them, like the 3-piece wheel steering wheel adapter that I made. Like,
I
so
forgot
then,
about that.
yeah, yeah. So like, that's just using their service to make a funny video, and
Right.
yeah,
I'd be curious on the like the economics of a funny video like that. Um, is that something like where intentionally you're like, okay, here's a funny idea. I'm gonna have to pay for this. I'm gonna have to pay for that. I'll produce it, but I'm gonna make some ROI on this. Is that like an intentional decision, or is it just like, nah, fuck it, it's funny, let's do it?
it's mostly just like I'm just like, nah, fuck it, it's funny. But like
Okay.
sometimes, like when I made the Galaxy Gas videos,
Hmm.
uh, before I made those, I was like, yeah, these videos are easily gonna crack like 250,000 views.
Hmm.
Um, and like the Galaxy Gas cost me like $20 and some like fittings that I already had around the shop and stuff.
Yeah.
Um, so like I was like, yeah, it'll be funny and gain a few followers, whatever. And then like I think they did 10 million views on Instagram alone. So like that paid like a few $1,000s across all platforms, and I was like, oh,
Right.
that's pretty cool.
Right. Now, unfortunately, Instagram doesn't pay anymore. Um,
Yeah, well, they do pay. They just pay for posts and not reels, but they
yes.
don't push posts. So like,
Right. So you don't. So
yeah,
it's like the economics of Instagram now is partnerships and like subscriptions. That's
yeah,
basically it.
yeah.
Um, I can't say I've ever considered subscribing to somebody on Instagram.
No.
But I'm sure there are. This will come back to bite me someday when I make a subscription and people are just like, "Hey, dude."
Hey, you said you want it. Why should we pay you?
Exactly.
Valid.
And then I don't know, I guess I've also heard, right, TikTok, I think their revenue share is way down is what I've heard. Is that true, or like have
Um,
you noticed?
I've never really made good money through TikTok just because
Okay.
like uh I just never like with their videos being over a minute when I was like getting huge views and everything back in the day, like I just didn't know about that. So like I just wasn't getting the revenue.
So you were just making the video as the length it needed to be, not
Yeah.
pushing it to a minute.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And some of them were over a minute, some of them weren't. And I was like, oh, that's weird how I only got paid on this video, but not that video, but whatever, didn't really care.
Yeah.
Um, and then I just don't get the same views as I used to. Um, but
Right.
but they are doing
It's
a lot of like programs now where they're like the SRP and the CRP and ABCD. I don't know. Like,
I don't know, a bunch of fucking acronyms, yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Um, well, and so I think that's probably a good indicator of, you know, like you have the shop, you have the build, you have the cars, you do the partnerships, you have some social media revenue, but obviously not a lot. So you got to be doing something else.
yeah, yep,
Now I know of one of them, through talking to our buddy Luke, which is right selling parts.
yep.
Um, so do you want to talk? I guess do you want to talk about that, or
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, basically, this is my shop. It's at my house. I bought this place like 3 years ago or whatever. And I do all kind of random stuff to make money. I rent out storage out back, make a little bit of money doing that. We used to do U-Haul here, uh,
okay?
which made pretty good money actually, but then the city kind of shut us down on that one.
Mm,
And then the main like bread and butter is doing the used parts, which we call like specialty used import parts or specialty used parts or whatever.
hmm
Um, so we typically stick to like any car that's generally kind of cool. It used to be like all like rear wheel drive import,
hmm
essentially drift cars and stuff that you drift.
Yeah.
But we have kind of moved into more Camaros and SRT8s and Corvettes and stuff. Um, but yeah, we basically pick up a car. Actually, funny enough, I originally bought the Cayman as a part out car, and
Okay.
then decided to keep it. So,
Yeah.
um, but I have sold a lot of parts off of it, and like probably made a good chunk of my money back, anyways.
Yeah.
But we'll basically tear a car all the way down to like nothing,
hmm
and then I list all the parts on eBay and have a whole inventory system at the back of my shop, and that's what pays the bills,
Yeah.
keeps everything running.
Yeah. I think that's the dirty secret nobody ever talks about, is that it's significantly more lucrative to like strip the car for parts than it is to actually just sell the car.
Yeah,
Um, which is unfortunate at times, but like it's good because I know I've gone through the process of trying to get old parts for particularly VWs, and holy shit.
yeah,
Not the easiest thing to do. I unlike most car guys, my dream is not to peruse Facebook Marketplace for hours a day and negotiate the best deals.
yeah,
I like just being able to buy shit.
yeah,
So
yeah. Me too. If I see it on eBay, I'm like, oh, I could get that cheaper locally, and I'm like, but if I hit buy right now, it'll show up in a few days, and I won't
because
have
how
to
much
go
how
out.
much is your time worth, right? Like, you know,
Exactly. Yeah, like
that time you're spending looking for the cheaper part, you could be spending selling your own parts.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Yeah, make some money somehow. Like you can
Are
figure out
are
a way
you
how to make
selling
a little
through
extra
eBay,
money.
or do you
Mhm.
sell through eBay, or like are you like have a separate platform? Like I'm curious about the logistics of how you actually go through the sales on the parts.
Oh yeah, yeah. So most of it is through eBay, but then whenever I pick up a car, I put it up on Marketplace as like part out,
hmm
and then I deal with 300 idiots trying to buy the whole car, even though the ad says whole car not for sale.
Yeah.
Um, and then, I do some local sales, but not really anything compared to what I do on eBay.
Okay. Um, I was gonna have an interesting question following up for that, and then I completely forgot it, which is
Hell
spot
yeah.
on.
Past your bedtime, anyways.
Yeah. So I guess I would. So right, you've got the space, right? Is that what drew you to Colorado?
No, so I was living in Florida up until 2017 ish,
Okay.
and then my mom lived out here in Loveland, and then my dad lives in Breckenridge, in like out in the mountains, and I was the last one still in Florida,
Okay.
so they all wanted me to move out here, so I
Okay.
just found a good shop space and packed up everything into a ton of giant Penske trucks and moved out.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that obviously came with the ability to get the shop space and to have the space to run a business like this.
Yep.
Um,
Well, I did have my first shop in Loveland was or in Florida was like 1,200 square feet, and then I
mhm.
basically like doubled it to about 2,500 square feet, and then I about doubled it to 4,800 square feet when I got out
Wow.
here,
Yeah.
and then I
I was
doubled
gonna
it
say it
again.
seems rather large from what you can see on camera.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, you have
Well,
a
this shop
nice
this
space.
shop's 9,000 or more square feet.
Fucking A.
Yeah, I got a lot of space, but I have a lot of jobs.
Yeah. Yeah. No, but I mean that's good. Um, I guess without being too, I don't know if this is something you want to share, but like what kind of revenue are you running on a yearly basis through this business?
Uh, like, I mean, total revenue, like total
Yeah.
sales amount is
Yeah.
like uh probably coming up on like 400,000 this year.
Okay.
And that's
400, so
for
400,000 for 2026.
yep, yep.
Okay. So, and we're like, it's like April. So,
Yeah, just
you
like
know,
that's roughly what I'm thinking this year will be at. Like last year was like
okay.
a quarter million or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like it does well.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
obviously that's sales revenue though, not profit, which is going to be lower.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, shipping and eBay fees and all that stuff. Uh,
yeah.
you
So
know,
it's safe to say like 10% margin.
uh, like for all that stuff, especially with
Yeah.
shipping, that takes like a good 20 to 40% of it, I'm sure.
Yeah. And
Yeah, it's
then
hard to
taxes
keep
and
track of exactly, and yeah, taxes and all that other stuff. Like it,
yeah.
I end up with $3.
Yeah. People don't think about it. So the last podcast I did with Bad Investment Builds, right, we were talking about sort of the breakdown on a parts, right, a part that he was selling, and he has this Honda shifter uh package that he put together, and he originally listed it. I think he's told me his listed is like 450, and
Yeah,
then he did all the numbers on the back end, and he's like, wait, I'm not making a dime on this. And he ended up having to push it up to like $650, which is a lot
yeah,
um, for a part. But he's like, for me to make any money on this, to compete, especially right. So him and I both were engineers, like we work full-time salary jobs. So he's like, to make any money that could even come close to competing with what I can just make, not having to risk my own assets,
yeah,
I have to charge like significantly more.
yep,
Um, now obviously he's operating out of Michigan, so the tax structure is different. From I think Colorado's a little nicer on some things. I think you guys don't have property tax, do you?
no, we do have property tax.
You do have property tax.
Yeah,
So what is how bad would that? I'm just curious. How bad would it be on a property of your size?
it's 4,500 a year for my property taxes.
How big is your fucking property?
Uh, it's 2 acres, about
Okay.
10,000 square feet of shop space, and then a
Okay.
6,000 square foot house with an indoor
God.
pool.
God.
Yeah,
I have a 1,700 square foot house on an acre and a half, and I pay 3,000 a year.
damn.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
I wish. Um, all right, so I got to ask about the indoor pool. This has nothing to do with anything car related. I just want to know about the indoor pool.
Yeah,
Why an indoor pool? Because that's just sounds like a terrible idea. Everything I can think about it, like you're bringing Florida with you.
yeah, Why not? Um, so like I was in the market for a shop, and I
Hmm.
was like, looking at LoopNet, which is like Zillow for industrial.
Okay, I
Um,
didn't know that. That's good to know.
oh, okay, yeah, yeah. LoopNet, it's super cool. You could see $10 million warehouses around you that you can never afford.
Yeah.
But so I was like shopping for a shop space and
Mhm.
looking for around 8 to 10,000 square feet. Um, and then uh, I was just like randomly browsing Zillow and came across this property because it's residential. And I was
Yeah.
like, wait, that has a ton of shop space and it's cheaper than the commercial property. Because
Hmm.
like the commercial for what I was looking for was like 1.2 to 1.4 million.
Yeah.
Um, and then I found this place for 800,000. The shop needed full renovation and the house needed full renovation, which we've
Hmm.
been working on both. But
Yeah.
significantly cheaper.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, sick. I'm getting a shop with a free house and saving
Yeah.
money. And then the
Yeah.
house just had an indoor pool, which is actually seemingly really rare.
Yeah.
There's less than 500 in the whole US.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
including hotels actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's surprising. So you might have like one of 5 residential pools in the country,
No,
if
I
we're
mean
being
there's a good
honest.
amount. There's a good amount, and I know of I've seen a few others in Colorado.
Okay.
It's a I think there's a little community of indoor pools. But
Indoor pool enthusiasts in
yeah,
Colorado, apparently.
yeah, but it's pretty cool because we could swim all winter. We have a rope swing going into the pool that I
There
built.
you go.
We have a balcony jump, and
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I can kind of see the appeal. As somebody who has been constantly losing the war against water, though, terrifies me.
It doesn't. I mean, it doesn't lose water, and there is a cover, so and it's heated, so you
I just
know,
imagine the humidity management would be brutal on like the structure around.
when we keep the pool warm, the
Hmm.
humidity in the pool room, as we call it,
Yeah.
is like you can feel it, but when the
Yeah.
pool's you know cool, not even if it's just a little bit warm,
Just like normal
there's
temps.
no
Yeah.
humidity at all.
Really?
Hmm.
Okay. That would be nice. See, as somebody who has a basement that's half depth that runs constant dehumidifiers, I'm like,
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Well, plus
Um,
Colorado's just dry, so.
it is. It is. So when I was right, my dad's army. So growing up, I've been all over. He was stationed in Colorado Springs, like the Blue Fountain area,
Oh, that's
for
cool.
2 years or so. So I spent some time in Colorado, and yeah, it's fucking dry.
Yeah.
Um,
Yep.
yeah, it is not wet like Ohio.
No, or like Florida, where I came from.
Yeah, Florida's in another level. Um,
Absolutely.
yeah. So are you from Florida
Yeah, yeah. I was
originally? Okay.
born and raised in Florida. Grew up there. Went to high school and college there, and then moved out here.
So you went to college. What for?
Mechanical engineering at
Okay,
FSU.
so you do have a bachelor of mechanical engineering.
No, I dropped out.
You dropped out.
Yeah,
Okay.
I just took the student loans and not the piece of paper. So yeah,
See, that's rough, right?
yeah,
That's the thing you don't want to do.
yeah. All the
Um,
money, none of the piece of paper.
yeah. So then I guess I was gonna say, because like, why get into the business you're into? But if you went for mechanical engineering, I assume like you've had a long term kind of love affair with things with engines at the very least.
Yeah, I mean, it's always what I wanted to do was
Hmm.
build cool cars. Um, when I was younger, I thought ME would be the avenue for it, but I just really didn't want a desk job.
Not really.
So
It's not.
yeah, exactly. When I was in school, I was like, ooh, do I really want to just you know, sit at a desk and play cars, or can I just go play cars directly?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I did.
Yeah, no, the job security is very nice. It's nice to have a desk job at times, but yeah, you don't get to play cars very much.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're just playing best case, you're just playing cars on the computer. You're like, oh, I designed this thing. Now I can send it to the higher up and move on,
Yeah.
design it the next thing, and never even see it. Like,
Yeah, there are some jobs that you get to experience it, but I mean they're rare.
mhm,
Um like unless you're in vehicle dynamics like test engineering or something like that,
yep,
it's pretty rare that you get to drive anything.
exactly.
Um yeah. Okay, so you decided to become a mechanical engineer, dropped out. Um let's see, what does it look like from there to your first shop?
So towards the end of being in school, I actually had started Sideways Fab already, but it
Okay.
was just sort of like a little, side gig, working on
Mhm.
friends' cars. Cause like by that time we had all gotten drift cars. Like all of my friends had S chassis or
Yeah.
E36s.
Yeah.
Um, so I was just like, you know, I was just the guy working on everybody's car and everything.
Mhm.
Um, and then and then I was just like, I'm just gonna do Sideways Fab full time.
Okay.
Just jumped on it.
And so, what's the core business of Sideways Fab?
So originally, it was like we did full builds for customers,
Mhm.
and we were doing those for a while, and then I was doing like a little bit of parts, on the side, just as I would
Mhm.
pull them off of customers' cars or whatever, just sell them. Um, but I just got sick of dealing with customers, so I was like, I'll just sell the parts and then build whatever I want to build, and then
Mhm.
not have to deal with anybody.
And so that's what Sideways Fab has kind of become, is building your stuff.
Yep,
Occasionally you'll put out parts you've designed on the website.
yep,
That's what the newest one's, what, the rocker arms?
yeah, yeah. The most popular one I have is the rocker arms that Bailey at Pizza Boy Metalworks. We like designed them together, and he manufactures them, and
Yep.
they're for doing cantilever, push rod, rocker arm, suspension, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah,
I
they've
didn't
been really
realize that he
popular.
was the one that was stocking those,
Yeah,
and
yeah. He's
like
actually
it's
like,
almost like a white label.
yeah, yeah. He's like fully just white labeling them, like drop shipping them from his place. So
Yeah.
pretty cool. And
Yeah.
we're sending them all over the world, which is really sick.
That's awesome. Yeah. Yeah, he was talking to me a little bit about that side of the business, like with the white labeling and stuff, which is, I think people don't realize, if you're kind of wanting to get into this space, that there's a lot of white label stuff out there. Um,
Yeah, really.
and I mean, some of it's good, right? Like this, like what you guys designed, right? You designed it with a specific purpose. And then some of it is you bought something off of a factory in China and,
Yeah, yeah. I mean,
your
some white label is
sticker on it.
just like rebranding something that already exists, but like in
Yep.
this case, it's a custom product that I'm just skipping you know, I'm just skipping the bulk purchase
Yeah.
and just having him drop ship because he does shipping anyways. So
Yeah. Maybe we need another name for that.
yeah, yeah, something in between, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, no, that's cool. Because people don't. Yeah, I realized that. Because for the longest time I worked for like vehicle OEMs and then like a tier one tire OEM, and then my current job working for a Chinese tire OEM. Got it. Kind of started to get a peek into the world of like the white labeling, like the white labeling of tires
Oh
and
yeah,
the amount of stuff that goes on there. And I was like, I had no idea. Like Venom Power, right? The obnoxious Brodozer tires that
yeah,
you always see. I'm sure you're familiar with being from Florida.
yeah.
Um, those tires are primarily made by Linglong and Siloon.
Didn't know that.
They're Yeah, they are made, designed by those two companies, and then they go and they get a Venom Power branding, and they get distributed through Venom Power, but like they're made by
Yeah,
um,
and you're
other
just
companies,
yeah, they're just like, yeah, we just want the tread to look like this, and then boom.
pretty much. And you
Yep.
put the stuff like they design like what goes in it, what compounds are going to go on it. Obviously like Venom Power has to say, but like it's they're made by somebody else. It's not like Venom Power is going around operating a bunch of tire plants. It's
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like just for
Um,
some 30 by 14 tires that sell like few and far
yeah.
between relatively. Yeah.
I have to see if I can still find the picture. I'll send it to you later. There was some of the tires that were in the SEMA hall, the tire hall that were like in the new tech, like I swear to God, like this much, it was tire bead and then the tread. Like there's nothing between the two. The sidewall was literally nothing.
Oh my God.
Like designed for donks. Which like
Mounting those would be crazy.
yeah. No, and then another one I was digging into as a side thing, like I was trying to figure out Accelera, right? Because
Yeah.
Tire Streets, right? That was big, and I'm like, okay, who the hell is this? And I did some digging, and I don't remember all the company names, but there is the company in North America that distributes and owns Armstrong, also owns Accelera.
Yeah. Yeah. Because Tire Street sells Armstrong.
Yep. So they're owned by the same. They're owned by the same company, but Armstrong is built through one system, and then as far as I can tell, because Accelera was bought off of a it's gonna Indonesian company
That
called
sounds right.
EP Tire, and EP Tire still manufactures the Accelera tires, but the distribution and ownership is entirely through the company that owns
Oh,
Armstrong and
okay.
Accelera.
Oh, interesting.
So yeah, and it's like you get into these weird little like, and there's hundreds of tire companies in China, like just hundreds of them, and this is a majority of their business is
Oh,
they
yeah.
make
Oh, that's
these
cool.
weird off-brand.
Yeah. Well, I mean, some of them are good. I love
Yeah,
Accelera. It's like they're my kind of go-to drift tire. So,
you
you
can't
know,
really beat the price,
yeah,
like for
can't beat the
performance.
price,
They've
and
got
they're
that.
yeah, and they're like super solid. So, like, I guess as long as
Yeah,
you're like doing good QC on your white labeling, then it works.
yeah. Yeah, it's so crazy when you look at that. It's like other ones or whatever, right? The Dunlop, Goodyear, Sumitomo thing. For the longest time, people don't know, right? It was like Dunlop, Goodyear, Sumitomo was kind of one thing, and then Sumitomo, which owns Falcon, split off from Goodyear at
Oh,
some
didn't know
point.
that.
But Dunlop got it was like shared. It was like shared custody, like one region got Dunlop. Damn, I keep hitting that. One region got Dunlop, and then other regions for Goodyear, and then like other regions got Dunlop for Sumitomo. I think it was like in Japan and like Asia, Dunlop was actually a Sumitomo tire. And
Oh,
then in America, it was a Goodyear tire, and then Goodyear finally, like in the last couple months, just completely sold Dunlop, and so um, now it's completely Sumitomo rubber. That's why people were all mad that they took the Dunlop off. Like I can't remember whatever track, right? They had the Dunlop tire over the
oh, okay,
bridge.
yeah, yeah,
That's why people were mad about that because Goodyear doesn't own it anymore,
yeah,
and
yeah,
Sumitomo it was like, well, we're not going to buy the ad space. So
exactly.
yeah,
Interesting.
all these little weird like
Yep.
trades.
Yeah.
um, I don't even remember where I was going with that.
White labeling and stuff and products.
Oh yeah. Um, so do you have like future product plans? Like, are you going to ramp that up with Sideways Fab?
Yeah, I really would like to because that's I mean, it's one thing that Josiah talks about a lot is like scalability,
Hmm.
which, there's not much scalability on the used parts because,
No.
Ricky has to pull the part and then I have to list the part on eBay and then I have to ship the part. So it's like very labor intensive for just one part.
Hmm.
And, it makes good money, but if I start selling $1 million a year in parts, it's going to take a few more people to get everything, to work well.
Yeah,
And then it costs me more money. So then,
your
the only way
labor.
to scale that up is to add more people.
Yeah, your labor
But
scale is hard.
yeah, but if I'm just selling new parts, packaging them, they don't need listed or anything. You just need to have them, package them, and throw a label on it. And, you know, that takes 2 minutes as
Yeah,
opposed to the whole process of pulling used part, listing, all that stuff is.
Plus,
takes
what
a ton of
condition
time.
is it in? What's the current market rate for it? Yeah, it's
Yeah,
the
yeah. When I'm looking it up, I have to like, eBay prices will go from like $40 to like $150 for one part. So I have to like see if the $40 part is broken or if that's just like the going rate and this guy asking 150 is just wrong and never going to sell his part, or
yeah.
maybe mine goes in the middle so then I'm like, yep. And then
I feel like
training
there's got to
somebody to
be
do all that is difficult.
right, right, and obviously, as the owner, you don't want to be the one doing that forever.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, I imagine you would rather your efforts be spent growing things,
Yeah.
right? Being able to work on new ideas, get business in a better spot. So
Yep. Yeah, like I could be designing things, I could be, I could just be building my own cars and paying somebody a good wage to do the normal job stuff, or,
right,
anything else.
right, which would be ideal. So is Ricky your only employee?
Yeah, yeah. Ricky, he works full time, like just doing regular mechanic work, and then he comes here
Mhm.
after his normal uh, his day shift and works for a few hours every night. Um,
Okay,
yeah, but he's my only guy and just part time right now. And then
okay.
Grant comes by and helps me work on work on stuff just for fun.
Yeah, I've been bullying Grant into trying to put stuff on social media.
He did actually just tell me that the other day.
Yeah,
I mean, dude, like even my cars, like he could post the work he's doing on my cars on his
that's what I
socials,
told
and
him.
yeah,
That's what I told him.
yep, and
Grant, if you're listening, I'm bullying you in like
in
on the
public.
internet in public.
Oh my
You
god!
do things. You do things, and I know you want to make videos. Make them.
And he even records. He
Yeah,
records and then just doesn't put his videos together.
I get it. I mean, I went through a long period of like wanting to dabble in the space, but constantly just being like what do I have to add?
Yep.
Which I know is conversation him and I have had is like what is there to add, right?
Yeah. While
Because
actually
there is
being
a lot of the
substantive.
same shit out there.
Yeah.
But I feel like the thing I've said is like, look, if Jordan can have massive success sitting in front of a camera and making meme content that's related to cars,
Yeah.
then anybody can do it. You just have to try.
Yeah. Yeah. Literally. And Jordan would say the same thing. Like
Yes.
Jordan knows he's like not really like deep in the car, like into cars, like me and Grant, and he knows that, and he just does what he does, and he does it fucking amazing, and
Yeah.
and has had huge success. And even if Grant just followed like my exact you know
Formula.
formula,
Yeah.
he could still have success just doing it because there's room for so many more creators.
As long as you can be funny. Like that's the thing is you just got to learn how to be funny. Like
Well,
and
you just
and
need
have
something like funny,
yeah.
informative, whatever
Yeah.
else people want to. But Grant's funny as fuck. So like,
Yes, he is. He's hysterical.
yeah,
Like
yeah, like, and you just need to be able to put that out on video. Like,
it's
mm,
hard. I do get it. It's hard because like especially I remember because I'm still fresh, so I still remember what it felt like 6 months ago
yeah,
to be like, God, that was dog shit. Why did I do that? That was really lame. That didn't like.
oh
I
my,
remember putting those out, and then you get like 100 views, and you're like, oh, that feels like. And then it starts to change, and you get a little better, and you just put the reps in, and you start to feel a little more confident.
yeah,
You know,
exactly. I mean, I've been doing automotive content for like, I've been doing it for probably like 12 years now. Like, because I
yeah,
used to do car audio, and like
okay,
back in the day, car audio was the big thing on YouTube. Like, you know, so I was making, those bass demo videos and all that sort
hmm
of stuff. And like some of them did kind of well because I think just because they were like hyper specific, people were like, oh, what does this sound like? What does this subwoofer sound like? And if you
yeah,
had the right tags, then like people watch the video and like,
yeah, yeah.
man,
It
yeah.
makes sense.
and then it just moved into drifting and fabrication, and you know,
Yeah. No, it makes sense.
yeah,
Um, yeah, that's the car space. Well, and the car space is weird now. I think just like if you started paying attention in like let's say 5 years ago, then what you thought was the growth potential and the view potential is not what it actually was.
no, no,
That was COVID. That was weird.
yep,
Like so, if you're like in today's market, the numbers are going to be smaller, right? Like the follower counts are going to be smaller, the view counts are going to be smaller.
yep,
Um, so I've averaged over the last couple months, I think I've been averaging about 200,000 views a month on Instagram,
nice, yeah,
which yeah, is like that's fairly solid for especially for my account size.
yeah,
Um, and like that's not anything compared to like 3 years ago.
yeah,
When or like even 3 to 4 years ago, like when like Donut could put up in their heyday, and there's a couple people in that space, but right, like that's it. That's just you can't benchmark against
yeah,
like 3 to 4 years ago.
yeah, exactly. And I mean, like, I had a ton of growth, you know, like, oh, I mean, I had a lot of growth last year or the year before. I forget which one. Like, I had a huge spike.
Hmm.
Um, I think last year is when I like broke 100K.
Yeah,
Um, but then, like, sometimes it's kind of stagnant, sometimes it spikes. Sometimes Instagram starts pushing, like when they do their Reels bonus, Instagram
hmm,
starts pushing Reels and starts paying creators, and then you start blowing up, you start making money, which helps you make more content. And then
yeah,
they're like, no, we're not paying for Reels anymore. Just post some pictures and get 50 likes. Good luck.
yeah, yeah.
And like Instagram just paid me $5 the other day, which was
Oh,
which was like a couple months worth of fucking like thanks.
that might buy you an ice cream in today's market.
Yeah, I mean barely. Won't even buy me a 12-pack of Dr. Pepper.
No, that's a shame. God, economics right now are so screwed up.
Oh yeah.
Um, yeah, I have a massive expense. Because I swear to God, I've told this story multiple times, but like I'm still living through it, so it's still in my head. Uh, the I was redoing my bathroom in this house, and I saw that like the sheathing, right, so the wood layer, outside the studs was like rotted out.
Yeah.
And of course, I found like a dead mouse and crap in there too. So like I don't know, that mouse is probably part of it. But right, there's like water damage on some of the boards, so whatever. I supported them. I was putting the tub surround in and everything. I got a siding company that did part of my roof, to come out and check it out. And they're looking at it and they're like, okay, so I have some bad news for you. The material, I don't remember what it's called, but the material on the siding, the house is built in the 60s, no longer to code.
Oh.
So that's got to go. And he's like, well, and of course, by virtue of doing a proper house wrap, I need to wrap around the corner. If I open the corner, I see more. County inspector sees more. Now that has to go.
Whew.
So this 3 by 3 square foot like area that needed to be fixed means I need to get entirely new siding, sheathing, gutters, window, like the fucking
Surrounds.
exterior window surrounds. Yeah.
That's
Yeah. Yeah.
fun.
For my house. And so that's going to cost. And I also have a leak in my garage roof. So that's going to get fixed because I have a detached garage. $28,000. That was how I felt.
Yep.
Yep. And I'm not financing it.
Oh,
So
nice. That's gonna be fun.
I got a 0 interest loan from my parents for half, and I'm putting down the other half.
Sick.
Yeah, so I'm going to owe them a couple $100 a month for a few years.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
And
yeah,
I got to get all new siding.
yeah, and then that company is going to make bank, and they're going to pay their employees a shit wage, and like,
They're a small company at the very, like it's like a, owner operator kind of
oh,
thing.
okay.
So
I mean, yeah, that's a lot better, but like,
yeah.
yeah, most of the time nowadays, like the company's making bank, and then they're still trying to pay, you know, essentially minimum wage for like the installers and everything, and like
Yeah. No,
yeah,
I'm sure there's probably some a little bit of that going on, but like as the one day like I went to drop off the deposit check because they were like, you can mail us the check. I'm like, I'm not mailing you a $14,000 check. Um, sorry, it's
yeah,
not happening. So I drove out to their office to drop it off, and like I guess the receptionist had called in sick, and so the owner was like at the office like taking care of her
well, that's
stuff while
cool.
doing his job. So it's like, yeah, it's a warm fuzzy. Right? You don't see that very often, which is the
Yeah,
reason why I go through them.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah,
but
valid,
yeah, so
valid
that's
reason.
yeah, so that's been my like hey Mike, why isn't the LS400 doing anything? Well, because my house is taking all of my money right now.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, no, I'm in the same boat, except my house needs a whole lot more work, and my shop needs work, and I also
mhm.
have one, two, three, four, five, six, seven, eight, nine cars, I think.
And how many of them run?
Right this minute, one. This one will run. This one did run,
Okay.
and it like will run within like yeah, basically any time now. Like I
Okay.
think I probably could start it up right now, but there's probably just something loose or whatever. And then the
Yeah.
cart just needs fixed. It ran until it didn't. And then, and then
So has it
I
hasn't run since SEMA.
no, I still haven't fixed it. Like I
Okay.
looked at it and I'm like, nah, I'm not. And it was winter until it wasn't, and then
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
stopped
No.
being winter way quicker than I was expecting, even though it was right on schedule.
It
So,
well, it did. It was this at least up here this year, it was very much like this is winter. It was really freaking cold, and then all of a sudden it was like actually we've been having weird ones that were always like it's 30, it's 70, it's 30, it's 70, and it'll just be like it's been swinging back and forth for like a month and a half now.
no, honestly, we didn't even have winter this year. Like it barely snowed like a handful of times.
Hmm.
It got cold a few times, but like it was in like the 80s a few weeks ago. Yeah, like I should have just fixed this thing right away because I could have been driving it, all year.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just like, oh, it's winter time. I don't need to worry about fixing it. And then
Yeah.
it was never winter, and then now I have a drift event this weekend, and none of my shit's ready. So
Yeah. I feel like that's the eternal, kind of struggle with the car guy. Is getting your stuff ready, which is why I've never actually managed to pull that off
yeah,
because nothing's ever done on time.
no,
Uh,
no. I mean, I'm usually pretty good about it, but like uh, this one, I'm still waiting on parts, which uh, aren't going to show up before this weekend. So I'm like, okay, sick.
yeah.
And then we're working on the burnout Justy with the Turbo LS, and
Hmm.
like that might be done by this weekend, but fucking who knows?
Right.
So yeah,
I mean, it is Wednesday night, so you've got 3 nights
if yeah, I mean if that we're supposed to leave like
ish.
Friday, which I
Okay,
might
so
just leave
two,
Saturday morning anyways, but like
yeah,
yeah,
2-ish nights.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's
Okay, that's
7:30 in
plenty
there.
of time.
Yeah, but Grant will be here tomorrow night to help, so there's that.
there, there you go, and then he can make a video, and post it.
Hopefully.
So, all right. Um, so this has been fun, but coming up on an hour. I know you got stuff to do. I have sleep to have. Um, it is 10 o'clock here, and I am an old man. So
It's fine. Yeah, I'm gonna work for a few more hours tonight, hopefully.
yeah,
So
so cool. This is fun.
yeah,
Is hopefully people get something out of it.
yeah, we were just
This
rambling a lot for a lot of it, but whatever.
it's that's you know what? It's not as bad as the one I did with Luke.
Yeah, honestly, Bailey. Speaking of which, Bailey still hasn't posted me and uh, our podcasts from PRI,
Yeah,
uh, but yeah, I was there when they were filming Luke's, and I was just like dying in the background, like,
yeah.
but
You
it was
can't
fun.
stay on topic with him.
Yeah,
Um, I have a call with him tomorrow to plan like when I'm going down there to figure out like what's the deal. And I know it's going to be an hour-long conversation because to get like the 15 minutes of.
Yeah, it happens.
So I guess before we go, do you have anything you want to plug
Uh,
other than you?
other than me, I mean, no, not really.
Okay.
They know where to find me on Instagram at
Yeah.
Sixberry. If they don't, then
Yep.
too bad. I don't know. And then
Screw them.
I don't want to annoy them by talking about all the companies I work with. They can see that on my Instagram.
There you go.
The companies don't
That's
pay me enough to say it on a podcast, anyways.
you heard it. You heard it here first. You guys don't pay Matt enough to plug.
The companies just get lucky because when you send me merch, I will wear it, and like it's just cool. Like I've been wearing the Radium hat for the last like couple weeks or whatever,
Yeah.
and then like this is just the shirt I put on. So like,
There
if
you
you
go.
send me merch, I'll wear it, and I might end up on a podcast. Who knows?
When's the last time you paid for a shirt?
Ooh, probably at a show.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
I was thinking band T-shirt would probably be.
yeah, yeah. I bought one from for Grant from Dropout Kings just a few days ago. But yeah,
Okay.
unfortunately, I'm not cool enough to get free band merch yet. But eventually, maybe. So,
Yeah. Maybe.
yeah.
That's It's also I sorry I fucking rambling again.
Oh wait. I actually did get free band merch from Pierce the Veil.
I was gonna ask if
Yeah.
is that the Pierce the Veil car
Yeah.
moment.
Yeah. I did get free merch for that. So like,
That's pretty cool.
yeah.
It's super weird to just like because of how many people like all of us are kind of like a lot of us are in this similar age group, right? Like
Yeah.
I connected with Jordan, who's the same age as me, and we're about the same age, and then Bailey, right? We're all about and Luke and
Yeah.
Josiah and I are also the same age, so he's also only in his mid-30s.
Oh, I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, no,
Hell yeah.
he's got that. No, he's got that kind of look where you can't tell if he's like, are you older? Are you younger? Right? It's hard to say.
Yeah.
But yeah, everybody's into the same fucking music.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, that's been one of the cooler parts. And then Grant's the baby. I didn't know Grant was the baby until I was at SEMA.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I've known Grant since he was like 18, just a few years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say that was what like last week.
No, I think he's 25 now. I think.
Yeah, he said 25. Yeah.
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 But I've known his ass way too long.
Yeah. No, when I was talking to him at SEMA and I was like, yeah, you're like, actually, how old are you? And he was like 25. I'm like, okay, no, you're a lot younger than me.
You're like, that's not what I was about to say.
That's not what I was going for, but all right.
Yeah.
So, okay, cool. Well, this was fun.
Hell yeah.
And I never have a good sign off for these things. I don't think anybody's listening by the end of 1 hour anyway. So
Honestly, hope you got some good clickbait out of there.
I hope so.
Clip what I say and make me look like a fucking idiot or something. I don't know.
I think there'll be the really good one. The really good one will be and how many of them are running, and that whole pause that was that was comedy.